Jose Romero, and today I will be guiding the question, how does the U.S. benefit from Hispanic fashion in a cultural comparison of the Hispanic community in the American community, the Hispanic culture, American culture. So my essential question being, how does the U.S. benefit from Hispanic fashion? The importance behind my question has to do with the benefits that the Hispanic community brings to the American fashion business, whether it's Hispanic-owned fashion businesses or Hispanic fashion from other countries influencing American buyers. It impacts the way the American consumer shops. So my source one being Hispanic businesses in St. Louis, Daphne Benzikin, creative designer and CEO of Shop Daph. She's a Peruvian lifestyle and fashion brand. It says, I definitely think St. Louis is a very welcoming city. Benzikin said, St. Louis loves learning about things that are different from them. I realize not everyone can start this type of business. That's why I've gotten a lot of recognition. People want to invest in me and be part of my story. So introducing Hispanic market to the U.S., Hispanic fashion is not only educational because it comes from our countries, and we're introducing it to the U.S. market. It's the strength of my brand, what makes me different, Benzikin said. It's something that always lets me make an impact on people. So the business message, her accomplishments are down below, her Instagram page, her giving back statement, her magazine featured page, and basically the YouTube videos where she shows how she helps the community. My brand is based on sustainability resources from Peru, versatile and youthful, Benzikin said. It's made to last a long time and gives back to the community. So Hispanic businesses that use artisan culture or are inspired from artisan culture I was able to find on Instagram. To the left, the Juarez and Morena and Proud. They are both Mexican-inspired brands. Their statements are down below. And then another one is the St. Louis environmental friendly restaurant, Mez, a vegan eating restaurant. Recently, I think it just opened. I'm not sure if it's opened up, but they're starting to. I don't know what their plans are right now, but I found them on Instagram and they seem pretty cool and environmental friendly. American Perspective for Business, the Pink Dinosaur Boutique by Elle Stedman. I was given her information by my marketing 2 teacher, Miss Moore. She's St. Louis, Kansas City location. She's family inspired. She has an orphanage charity which she gives back to, and she helps Haiti workers in the Latin American country, and in the Latin American community. She has an artisan dress right here that is obviously inspired by Hispanic culture, and I think that's very important because that's another example of Hispanic culture really inspiring the American market. So the source 2 being cultural influences, and indigenous Mexican triumphs in the fashion world and makes it to the runway in New York. That's Alberto Lopez. He is from a Mayan Tzotzil indigenous group in the state of Chiapas. Right here it says, also Alberto directs a group of 150 seamstresses and plans to help these women. He is very anxious to demonstrate his designs in the New York Fashion Week and the University of Harvard, Guadalupe Andrade says. The reporter, the screenshots basically show his journey and him giving back to his community, the fashion runway, and his designs at the top. So source 3, environmental friendly. Mexican entrepreneurs create textiles based from nopal cactus skin. The first entrepreneur says, with this skin we are able to make from shoes, purses, accessories, furniture pieces, and even car pieces. The second one says, this vegan skin substitutes those synthetic chemicals with a organic property. And the last one is from the interviewer saying this project will be presented to the world in Milan, Italy, in front of international brands. So basically, they take the nopal and they make it into an organic fabric. So it's obviously environmental friendly, it's ethical, and they're providing work in one of the images you can see they're providing work for their community. So the U.S. benefiting from Hispanic culture and fashion. The first one says, the source of Americans' clothes has shifted during the past 30 to 40 years from factories stateside to ones in China, Vietnam, Bangladesh, and other Asian Pacific Island and some Central American nations, as companies follow the lowest possible cost for their goods. So what I got from this is, ethical fabrics such as organic cotton, hemp, soybean fiber, and linen could be grown in Central American countries. Most Latino countries, I would say, have a very good climate where a lot of crops are able to be grown and harvested. So I think that's another source for the American market to apply, and for the Latino countries to just also benefit their communities and get more income. The typical U.S. citizen is starting to be more conscious of the clothes they buy, to how it's made, by who and where. I don't want to, be stereotypical, but the Western and the American a consumer sometimes don't really know. I mean, even myself, I would say before a couple of years ago, I would just, pick up a shirt and be like, oh, it's pretty. Don't really care about where it's from, who's making it, et cetera, because you don't think about those things. But I think as time is, especially in the times that we're in right now, we're starting to really, really see the impact, the environmental impact that we are causing, and I think fashion is a very big one. So I think that with this, once again, with the nopal skin, and then the textiles from the from Alberto, the tzotzil, um, he's from Tzotzil. I think that that's just another example of how we need to be more environmental. So connecting with the Latino population can have far-reaching results for brands and retailers, considering that Pew Research finds they are among the youngest racial or ethnic groups in the U.S., with a median age of 30 in 2018. Pew compares that to 44-year-olds for whites, 37 for Asians, and 34 for blacks. Basically, it's just saying that the Hispanic community tends to buy more with brands and retailers. So once again, the Hispanic community, whether it's them being the designers or workers, even consumers in this case, once again directly impacts the American market. The last one just basically says how the Hispanics are fit into so many categories, but especially in the fashion retail one, and how brands need to start being more aware of how they're marketing to them and how they can benefit to them. So this is just a graph of the fabric that each race mostly prefers, and this being each ethnicity, and this being Hispanics prefer cotton. In the article, it didn't say, it's from one of the articles from my past slide, it said that it probably wasn't organic cotton, but that's another thing that American brands need to start doing if they are wanting to make an ethical change. So let's try something that matters. This is from a book I'm currently reading. It's from the creator of Tom's. It says, we described to them precisely what we wanted: a shoe like the alpargata, made for the American market. It would be more comfortable and durable than the Argentinian version, but also more fun and stylish for the fashion-conscious American consumer. So what I got from this is the Blake Mykowski, CEO of Tom's, was able to introduce a representative aspect of Argentine culture to America by using charitable acts of giving shoes to kids in need. American consumers are willing to invest more in a product if it has a backstory. Once again, directly just by him, noticing that key culture component in another country, he was able to bring it back to America and make it successful by giving back to that original country. So I just think that that's very important because, once again, the Hispanic community, the Hispanic culture, more importantly, the base of this culture, the culture is impacting the Western world, and that's something that we don't really notice because it just doesn't, it doesn't seem like we need to, or it's just not brought upon. But with people like him, it's really starting to be more brought upon, and with these more ethical brands, it's something that people are starting to notice and wanting to be part of, which is a positive change for the American market. So in conclusion, the Hispanic fashion industry, whether it be factory workers, textile makers, designers, or etc., are influencing the American consumer and the market ethically and economically. Realizations that I made: minorities in general bring a lot of creative variety to the American fashion market. Plans need to be put out to ensure that everyone has access to affordable and ethical clothing. The American market relies on its workforce from other countries and not just Central America. Future plans for me specifically: if wanting to start a fashion business, start it ethically, be able to give back to my Hispanic Latino community, research on how to decrease costs so that everyone has the opportunity, and be able to provide work through fashion for my community. So that's definitely something that I need to work on and do more research as time goes on. I love fashion. I love just being able to whether it's being able to put a simple outfit together, but I think if I really do have a passion for fashion, as cheesy as it sounds, I need to make sure that my passion is also helping and giving other people an opportunity. So I definitely need to see what route I want to go into. I know I want to give back to my community, and something that I also would like to research or look more into is just how to lower the cost of ethical clothing. I know that's a little bit hard since it's more ethical. It's going to be more pricey, not like fast fashion that's overproduced and like $2 for a t-shirt. But I just know that I want to, see if there's a formula or something to where not as like, I don't know how to exactly word this, but so that other people who are less unfortunate are also able to purchase more ethical clothing and have the opportunity to purchase ethical clothing, without feeling like they have to spend $56 on a white organic cotton t-shirt. So that's something that I need to work with. And yeah, thank you for listening to my presentation.